Last week I saw the movie Wicked, and I previously had no idea like what the musical or the play was about or anything like that, and it was really good. Now I think I want to work on a musical. Anyway, I was reading the Wikipedia page about Wicked. I found it interesting that when they first premiered it, I believe in San Francisco, they actually didn't get that great reviews. So they took a 3-month break to look at the feedback that they got and then make it better. Like they changed, I think, one of the songs or some of the songs, and they just kind of changed a few things. They took that time to like make it better, and then when it premiered again on Broadway for the first time, it got raving reviews, of course, and everybody loved it, and the rest is history. But I thought that was a fun little fact that they didn't get it right the first time. And what if they had just given up? There would be no Wicked. It would just be known as a play that didn't really work out that well. But they took the feedback that they got and they made it better. So I recently released my very first EP, fully written, recorded, produced by myself. I thought I would take that same concept and critique the EP myself. So far I've gotten some really nice comments, so that's very nice. Thank you so much to everybody who's listened to it so far. I thought it'd be fun to just listen to it together and critique it as we go along. That way, from here on out, I can keep on improving in the songs that I write and release. Let's get into it. Here is the EP, Girl Stories by Moi. I usually use Spotify on my phone, but I wanted to try using YouTube Music here, and I think it's kind of nice because it tells you the amount of plays each song has, which is fun. Fierce has 67 plays. It's actually more than I thought it would have. Maybe it's just all me and my family, but that's awesome. The EP is less than 13 minutes long, 12 minutes, 50 seconds. Let's start with the first one. I remember how it happened. We were running, we were laughing, trying to prove who was the fastest, trying to outrun all madness. You would think that it was harmless, just a rose bush by a brick fence, just a flower in a yard bench, just a rose amidst the darkness. And maybe that's why I drew closer, cause maybe I thought it'd be better. That's my favorite part in that song, I think. But even a rose, that beautiful rose, has a secret it holds. Got the scars telling so. I just want to say, I really like how the instrumentals came out in this one. I like that little piano thing. Dun, 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 dun. I like the little birdie sounds you can hear, the guitar. I don't know, yeah, I just like how this one came out. I think this one is probably my favorite one off of the whole EP, and it's the first one that I did. I like the lyrics of it, I like the instrumentals. I just wish I would have done that chorus part better. This part, I feel like this could have been better. I don't like the harmonies I put on there. I wish I could have like blended the harmonies a little bit better so that you don't notice it as much. Got the scars telling so. I remember when you told me you were playing, you were happy, you were living, you were learning, you were dancing to the morning. You would think that it'd be harmless, just a word spoken and nonsense, just a thought. Also here, I think I was a little off from the drum beat. The vocal melody doesn't quite match to the drum beat. So I wish I would have redone that a little bit better. Poorly expressed, and was a person who's jealous. I do like that little echo there. That's why I drew closer. And I love the snare that I put here. Maybe I thought it'd be better. But even a rose, that beautiful rose, has a secret it holds. I like the addition of the tambourine. But yeah, I think the harmonies on this one could have been worked better or blended together better so that it's not as like obvious, that it just sounds more like a very thick vocal, but not like you can obviously hear this lower harmony here and then the melody here and then this higher one over here. So I wish I would have blended that better. Got the scars telling so. I like this part. And right there, that beginning, I wish when I enter again on that last bridge that I would have faded it maybe a little bit better, because I feel like it just kind of comes out of nowhere. they fade away, you're never the same in the end. And even though shame takes some time to erase, know that you've never been the one to blame. So for that part, I actually do like how the harmonies were blended there. I think it was a little bit more cohesive than like the chorus part of the song. But I feel like you can also hear on this part, I use the pitch shifter where you can make your voice like down like a whole octave or up like a whole octave, and I think it's kind of a little bit too obvious here. So I think I would have decreased the percentage of that, decreased the ratio of that in the vocal. I wish it was still there, but you couldn't really tell that it was there. It just kind of helps to fill it all out a little bit more. It's been years, but I hope they're okay. I like the ending of that, the instrumental ending. For that last vocal part there, it's been years, but I hope that you're okay. I think I put a little bit too much echo on that. Also, I wish I would have just kept with the tempo. Let's listen to the next one now. She knew that it was foolish trying to shut it out, hiding from the ruin. I really like the strings that I put here. Maybe just cello, I don't remember. But I really like that beginning string intro. Also with this one, I was struggling with that first lyric there, that first verse, because I had a bunch of different takes of it, but I don't know what happened. But sometimes it was like too quiet, sometimes it was too loud, sometimes like I just didn't get the intonation of it right, and it was just hard to like choose one that fit well there. So that took me a while, but I think I'm happy with how it came out. Too hard and it's painful, it's not what I want. Make sense of this problem, make sense of the cause. I also like the guitar in here, the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, just very steady rhythm that it has, and then the addition of the snares as well. I don't think I used snares in the last three, but I wish I had, because I like how they came out in the first two songs. 'Cause I've seen far, take the spark of a person's life right before my eyes, and I've known hearts that broke apart, fighting to survive, trying to hold on tight. Right there, with that chorus, I'm also not completely happy with it. I don't know if I can pinpoint why. I don't know if it just sounds too fragile, or like those higher notes especially, like I wish I would have recorded them to sound a little bit more stronger, because they do sound very like delicate, if you will, a little too delicate. And also the harmonies as well, I think I could have probably blended them better, or maybe added more harmonies there, or just more vocal layers of some kind. But yeah, I feel like there's something lacking in that chorus. And I don't want to face it, I'll stay in the dark. What's the point in chasing what we had and who we were? The more I try, the worse it hurt. Okay, for that verse, I do like the harmony that I put on there. I like that you can hear it. It's just like the main melody part and then that little harmony that you can hear. But I like the way the harmony came out on that one. With some of the other harmonies that I did, I wasn't too happy with how they came out. So I think I need to work on harmonies definitely in the future. But again, I like the snare and the tambourine through that verse. Also, sorry, real quick, for the kick drum that I used here, I think that could have also been a little bit more fuller in sound. It sounds a bit like empty, or just kind of a little bit out of place maybe, so I wish I would have done the kick drum differently, or maybe added more effects or something. Again, here the vocal just sounds really weak, or like fragile, or maybe even out of tune at the very top there. So I wish I would have redone that better. But I do like the addition of the strings kind of going along with the chorus. Right there. Right before my And that's I've Seen Fire. I like the ending instrumental to that one. On to the next one. Is she fierce or is she just... Okay, right off the bat, this is the third song I recorded. I recorded them in the order that they are in the EP. I wanted to try a different instrumental because for the first two songs I had already done guitar, and so for this one I wanted to try something different. I use the flute as like the bass and then to add a couple like harmony layers, and that is pretty much the bulk of the instrumental. I think I did add some drums to this. As far as like the main instrument, I just used flute, and I don't know if that was a good idea. It sounds a little bit too tinny, you know, a little bit too woodwindy, too fluty, but oh well. I mean, I wanted to try that and I wanted to experiment with it, and I did. And now I know that this song could have been made better, I think, with the addition of piano or guitar or something, just to help make it sound a little bit less fluty. Is she fierce or is she just bitter? Okay, also with the vocal, this was also the first song where I was using the band guide's mixing process on YouTube that he has, which I learned a lot, but I think on this particular song I might have overdone something. I think I might have overdone maybe the compression or the EQ. I'm not sure. It sounds like different from the first two songs I did. I don't know, it sounds a little bit like empty maybe, or flat, or I don't know, it just sounds different. And also I don't know if it's because the instrument is also just flute, and then with the addition of all those the compression and the EQ and stuff, if that just didn't work out well. But this one is probably my least favorite that I did on the EP. Like, I really like the song. This song I had written several years ago, and I really like the lyrics, like the story it has. But as far as the recording that I did here in the production, it's not my favorite, unfortunately. Is she fierce or is she just bitter from living in an eternal winter, tough as nails? See, there is just like that one flute part, and then the voice. It just sounds a little empty. And they're kind of maybe like along the same range, like in terms of like the pitch maybe, so maybe that also doesn't help. Girl, but where did she learn to fight? I just life can be hard sometimes. Staring at herself in the mirror, wishing they could see. And then on top of the flute, I also added a little triangle to make it even more tinny. I mean, I like how that sounded, and the drum as well. And that little flute bit, I like how that came out too. Fight. I just life can be hard sometimes. Staring at herself in the mirror, wishing they could. Like here, the second verse, I added that layer, that vocal layer, and I think that did help a little bit. See a bit clearer, she hates to cry and she'd rather hide. Just say that you're doing fine. No need to take up anyone's time. But I can see that it's not easy and it's not fair to say that I'm busy when you've been holding the world in your hands, and all you wanted to do is just dance. Tell me, are you alright? You can have my time. No, there's no need to lie. Just tell me, are you alright? Finds it hard to share what she's feeling and never knows what. I also like the harmony, the vocal harmony there on that part. To say when she's nearly thank you God, is that enough? Do you really hear what I say? I also like how that part came out, the thank you God. I wanted to sound a little bit more like, what's the word? Not like anguished, but just a little bit more intense. I don't think that's the right word either, but I wanted to sound a little bit different than like the rest of the vocal in this song. I like how that came out. Never knows what to say when she's nearly thank you God, is that enough? Do you really hear what I say? Cause all my friends, they think that I'm okay. And I like how I removed the instrumental there for that last part. But again, I think it's just missing a little bit more warmth, which might have helped if I had added like piano or guitar or strings or something like that. I can see that it's not easy and it's not fair to say that I'm busy when you've been holding the world in your hands, and all you want me to do is just dance. Tell me, are you alright? You can have my time. No, there's no need to lie. Just tell me, are you alright? Just tell me, are you alright? last part I do like. There was an addition of more like flute harmonies, which helped make it sound a little bit fuller, a little bit warmer. And then I liked at the end the flute was kind of following more with the vocal melody as well. I think it was in this song where at the very end where it's like, tell me if you're alright, instead of just putting the vocal like straight down the middle, I think I took the two vocals that I had and just like panned them out like full right and left. So there's none like completely in the middle. So it sounds like a little bit more far away-ish, which I liked, like for the ending. I think I did that for one other song. But yeah, that was Fierce. On to the next one. I like this intro guitar. It reminds me of a song called Oh Sweet Lorraine, I believe it's called. It reminded me of that song and I really like that song. Okay, a couple of critiques for this part here. I wish when the vocal entered you could hear it a little bit better. I think it gets a little bit lost. I don't know if I just didn't fade out that intro guitar enough. When the voice comes in too, I think the more guitars come in and maybe that was also just kind of drowning out the vocal. I wish you could hear that first vocal better, like more clearly. Also, that line about I can smell the chocolate in the kitchen, I also am not completely happy with that. I wish I would have redone that. Initially it was I can smell the coffee from the kitchen, but then I thought that's kind of repetitive because I already mentioned the coffee table. And then I thought, well, what kind of foods do we make in January? And then I was thinking like churros or rosca, but that also didn't fit in well. And I was like, okay, chocolate, because we make hot chocolate or like chocolate baked goods or something. But I'm not completely happy with how it sounds in the verse. It's time to remove the stockings, the tree's still up, the star's still shining. What's so wrong with trying to keep it going? I've never felt better than this moment. Okay, here with the drums have come in now, and it's just a kick drum and then a wood block. And I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea. Listening back, I'm like, I wish I would have just used tambourine since I had already used that in, the first two songs and they just kind of helped tie it all together. But I don't know why I decided to go with the wood block, and I feel like it's a little too harsh for the ear. And then it's like kind of on an offbeat, which also I think sounds a bit odd. Yeah, I feel like the drums are all over the place in this section here. But for the vocal, initially I was gonna be down low, like at the first verse, and I can't remember how long it's been, but I decided to go and I can't remember how long it's been, go a little higher. So I like how I did that. I think that did add something more interesting to the song than just keeping it at the same monotone sound. Remember how long it's been since I felt so content with the way life is. No more checking stories, comparing likes. I'm tired of peeking to everyone's life. 'Cause I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind to the cost of trying to be somebody else. Took longer than I. When this chorus comes in, because I once was lost, the volume might be a bit higher than like the first two verses, and I think you can hear that. In the future, I need to work on like keeping the volume level more consistent there. Took longer than I thought, but somehow it worked out. Couldn't see through the frost, but now the sun has come on now. Okay, real quick. This song I had also written January last year, 2024, and I wanted to put it in this EP because I didn't want to wait like another year to release it since it is more of like a holiday-ish song. But this part right here took longer than I thought. Those couple lines I added while I was recording it because I felt like it sounded like a bit empty with just like because I thought I was lost part. However, I wish I would have taken a little bit more time to work on that. Same thing with the chocolate bit. I'm not 100% happy with how this part came out either. It's like okay, but yeah, I wish I would have spent a little bit more time working on that as well. Maybe it took longer than I thought it would, but somehow it worked works out, it's a funny thing. That part, I think I did like a little bit better. I like the motion in the drums. Still not my favorite percussion that I've done. It does kind of sound like it's all over the place. Also, the vocal, I think, didn't match up super well with the beat, so I also could have worked or re-recorded that a few more times to make that work. Okay, so that's that one. Main critiques: fixing the volume on all the vocals, fixing the percussion, not using that wood block, or using it differently, maybe like not on the off beats. And then some of the wording of the lyrics, I think, could definitely have been better. Overall, not terrible. Here is the last one. It's pathetic, I know. I love the guitar on this one. We're in a crowded room. I didn't want to talk to you. I tend to get anxiety when I think about letting you speak. Somebody that's caught my eye, and on that day where that guy, it's pathetic, I'm aware. I just try to act like I don't care. Always the last one in the room. I end up sitting next to you. All of my effort to stay away. Not even my thoughts ever since that day. Okay, overall, like I said, I like the guitar. I think I was a bit offbeat sometimes, so I could have redone that better. But as far as the vocal, I didn't want to do as many like vocal layers as like the other songs. Like I wanted to keep it a little bit more simpler, but I feel like it doesn't sound as full. Like I feel like it sounds a bit emptier. So I don't know, maybe if I should have maybe added another vocal layer or two, or somehow made the vocal sound a bit warmer, because I do feel like the voice is a bit lonely here. Yeah, right there, I was not on the beat with the vocals. Free space inside my head. I thought that I would be over all this by now. It's been almost 2 years. What can help me now? Okay, I don't like that echoey "what can help me now" that you can hear. I don't like how that came out. If maybe I would have done one lower, one higher, or both lower, or just humming and not like the actual words. I don't know. Yeah, when I was working on it, I was like, oh, that'd be cool. But listening back, it's not my favorite. I still remember what you said. It wasn't much, but it meant a lot to me. It changed the way I introduce myself these days. Why am I obsessed with this person I hardly know? Was I really that impressed by the way he spoke? Or was it just the fact that he dared come close? Tell me, why did that make me feel less alone? Same there, I have the "less alone" in the background. I wish I would just hummed it or not included that. And even though you probably don't remember me did like that there, how I cut out the instrumentals and was just the vocal there.
Obsessed with this person I barely met. He's taking up all the free space inside my head. I thought that I would be over all this by now. I mean, it's been almost 2 years. What can help me now? I'm obsessed with this person I hardly know. Was I really that impressed by the way he spoke? Or was it just the fact that he dared come close? Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why did he make me feel less alone? It's pathetic, I know, but I feel less alone.
Oh, and then there's NF. And that's the end of it. Let me know what your critiques are, if you have any positive, negative feedback, whatever. I would love to hear it. And I've been planning the next song that I'm going to be working on, which I'll also make a video for, so look out for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.